But right now, we are here to meet StevenKatkowsky. Steven is a contractor, and he specializes in helping folks, fools like me, figure out how to do their homes well. He's written a book called Danger Construction Zone, and he's also going to be appearing at the South Bay Home and Garden Show in Santa Clara. Boy, I've done a lot of talking. It's your turn.
It's my turn, Henry.
So, Steve, the big thing that people do is they accumulate appliances, a couple of appliances, and they don't take other elements into account, yes?
They accumulate more than a couple of appliances. You know, Henry, when I go out to design somebody's kitchen, the first complaint is we have no counter space and we blow fuses. The reason why is their kitchen countertops look like this. They bought one of every countertop appliance made in the last 40 years, and they got a 50-year-old kitchen. How do you plug it in? This is how. Take a look at this, Henry. They get one of these. It's called a plug strip.
Oh yeah, I love these. These are I couldn't run my kitchen without.
They plug their Frappuccino machine, their Cappuccino machine, the microwave. You got a microwave, Henry?
Oh yeah.
You ever read the directions?
Directions? I didn't even know it came with directions.
Page 1, do not plug it in, could burn house down, requires dedicated circuit. But people just go for it. And then they get 20 more.
Wait, hang on a minute. Hello, honey, unplug the microwave.
You better unplug it. Then they can't figure out how to plug in all those Christmas appliances they get for the countertop. They get another plug strip. So you got 12 of these.
These are great.
12 things plugged into one plug.
Yes.
They cost nothing. And then for Christmas, you get a few more countertop appliances. You find one of these.
I actually have one of these.
You got one of these? You plug this in. People actually have 36 appliances plugged into one plug. They can't figure out why they're blowing fuses, Henry. And that's one big thing I talk about in my seminar about how to hire a contractor. You got to get permits. You got to get a licensed electrician.
That's got to be expensive.
It's not expensive.
Sorry, because I will admit, I probably am due for this. Oh, don't give me that. Oh,
it's not expensive, Henry.
Look at that look.
It's reasonable because I'm on the end of receiving the check, not writing the check. But when you're doing a major kitchen remodel, it costs you $2,000 to completely renovate the electrical system, bring it up to code, and you want to have a licensed electrician do it, and you want to get permits to make sure that this isn't what happens.
Okay, I will admit that one of the intimidating things, and this is true for me, about doing work like this is I don't know how long it should take, I don't know what it's going to cost, and I really don't know, you know, unless I have somebody who's just done work recently. I don't know anybody who can make a reference. Most of these people, you know, they do the big jobs, and I don't know how to find someone with a little job, and I don't know if they're qualified.
Well, you got to make sure they're qualified, and believe it or not, you just ask around, you will start hearing names keep coming up, references, check them out, go to their homes, and check out their license. That's very important, too. That's something else I cover in the seminar.
Physically check their license?
Physically check it out. Guy will take his license out of his wallet, go to hand it to you. I told you before, I went to Weight Watchers. This used to fit in my wallet. This is a California contractor's license, and you want to check it out by making sure the license belongs to the guy whose name is on it. It's an active license.
Are you saying there are people running around with with really fake licenses?
When I checked with the state of California about 3 years ago, over 30% of the licenses you checked on were bogus licenses. So contact the Contractors License Board. Come to my seminar at the South Bay Home and Garden Show. You'll never be taken advantage of by a contractor.
So they've got one of these, and the picture matches up with the name, so you're guaranteed. So this person's going to be good.
Well, not necessarily. Guess what?
What?
If you want to have the same license I have that I've had for 35 years, for less than $1,000, you can go to Contractors License School, which has nothing to do with the state. You can have the same license as me. Now someone came to one of the seminars, checked it out the way I said. It's your license. You have no experience. You just passed the test first time, but what don't you have? References, Henry. You always use people use references to check out a pretty face, how a job looks. Use the references to check out if a guy's been around a long time.
See, I always figured the references, though, they're only going to... We can put this down now.
Go ahead and put it down.
We've had your name up long enough here.
All right, yeah. Thank you, Henry. I'll write you a check.
You know, people assume that references, that's just going to mean that's their friends, you know. So, I mean, you got to do a little digging here.
You got to do a little digging. You know, most people, we're not stupid. We're contractors. If we're trying to sell you, we'll speak for myself. Yeah. I'm not stupid. No, but, you know, if you ask for references, we're obviously not going to go through our records and find the 10 worst jobs we did in the last 5 years. So if a guy says he's been around for 15 years, get a 15-year-old reference, an 8-year-old reference, a 4-year-old reference. And when you're checking them out, ask the people, who did the sheetrock, who did the floor, who did the counters? If a guy says he's been using the same subcontractors for 15 years and you don't hear the same names come up at 4 different houses, bingo, that's how you use references.